Okay, so I am here with Anna. Hello, Anna.
Hello.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, like your home situation, what's going on at work.
So I'm a single mum, got a little 4-year-old boy. Um, and I work within the hospitality trade. So it's a golf course, hotel, restaurant, wedding venue, everything. Um, Obviously I've just been put on furlough for lockdown number
Yeah,
two.
yeah,
So it's been a manic last couple of weeks,
yeah.
putting things in place for that and getting sorted. But now I've got a month off.
That's nice.
So
So, tell us a little bit about what was going on with your health before you started on the Exhausted to Energize method.
before this course, I was suffering daily with reflux. I had no energy whatsoever. I had really high anxiety, um, pretty much in a state of panic every day,
Yeah.
most of the day, hyperventilating. It's yeah, no happiness. I was just in this
Mm.
downward spiral and didn't really know how to get out. So
Tell us a little bit about like how that affected you. So how like the energy, did it stop you doing anything? Was it hard to get up? Was you needing to go to bed early at night? Like how did the energy affect you?
so definitely had no kind of drive or motivation
Yeah.
to anything. I didn't
Mhm.
even want to get out of bed in the morning.
Okay.
The only reason I did was because otherwise I had my son. Okay, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
But even like just making chores, making food was a chore. I didn't want to eat. The only reason I did was to show my son that I was eating, but I didn't really ever finish a full meal at that point. Um, so it was all just get up, do what you need to do, the bare minimum, so
Yeah.
to speak, and then go and sit back down. Um, go to bed early. Sometimes I could sleep, sometimes I couldn't sleep.
Mhm.
Not, it was more that I probably wanted to sleep more. I didn't
Yeah.
really with insomnia in any kind of way. Um, but yeah, just wanted to spend the whole time in bed and do nothing really.
And
Uh,
then what about your anxiety and panic attacks? Like how did that manifest? How is it making you feel? What were your kind of symptoms that you was having to handle?
Symptoms, I was heart palpitations, used to get the shakes. It very much was like affected my breathing
Yeah.
with me. I had very, very tight tension in my stomach. I couldn't take deep breaths, which in itself then made me panic even further.
I remember
So
that from the beginning
my
actually. You used to talk about
breathing,
that a lot.
yeah, became very, very shallow. And the more I tried to take a deep breath,
Yeah.
the harder it became.
Yeah.
Um,
And that would happen at work,
so
wouldn't it?
it would happen at work, yeah, it would, which was very difficult. Sometimes I would manage to try and compose myself just about. I just had to wait till I calmed down. And sometimes I just have to go find a corner and cry.
Oh,
um, I mean, it did start in lockdown, or just right at the beginning, really. I started getting these anxious feelings, but didn't realize it was anxiety at first.
yeah.
Before the last lockdown, and it just went twofold. And I would be crying every single day, sometimes all day, um, just in this state of despair,
Oh, God.
really.
And what about you mentioned the reflux? Tell us, because I remember you saying before that you just didn't know what caused it and you just had it all the time. So what was that
Yeah.
like?
So sometimes I would suffer with heartburn, and now if I get reflux, it tends to be more heartburn. But initially, when I had it, it was silent reflux. So I would have this feeling of a lump in my throat, maybe a little cough. I'm trying to think way back when. Uh, Effectively, just very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And when I initially went to the doctors about it, had no idea what it was. I thought, "Oh, God, there's something like severely wrong with me," because I just felt like my throat was closing up sometimes. Um, Very gassy, bloated,
Yeah.
just super, super uncomfortable. And with they're like, try eat more vegetables, drink lots of water, and try finding the foods that trigger it. But the problem with that was that I couldn't,
Yeah.
because it was happening so regularly. So then
Mhm.
I started stressing myself out about it. And then I'd be cutting whole food groups out. And then that made no difference. So then I cut more food groups out. That made no difference. So then I started losing weight. And then along with that, because I wasn't eating correctly nutritionally, just everything else kind of then spiraled. So
You'd actually tried quite a lot yourself then. You tried to kind of piece it together yourself.
oh yeah, for a long, long time, because the doctors never really gave you any kind of tips on, not knocking doctors,
Yeah.
but I didn't have that support from them
Mhm.
on how, although they said eat more vegetables and drink lots of water, it didn't, that wasn't enough,
Yeah.
because I needed to find those other foods. But everything set it off, because I think also probably what it was at that time, where I was stressed,
Yeah.
and there was anxiety there then, that also caused reflux.
Mm.
So it I'd stressed myself out so much that just no matter what, it just wasn't good enough. So yeah, I couldn't find a cause. I had no idea.
Yeah.
No idea what food set it off. I had an idea on some, but
Yeah.
not enough. And yeah,
And so
just
what made you start looking for like a different solution, or what resonated about the course where you felt like, I think that's the thing I need?
so I followed your fight fatigue and stress naturally Facebook group for quite a long time, as a silent follower, so to speak, in the background. And I saw your 12-week course come up a couple of times, and I thought, oh, that's good. And I thought, oh, I don't know. And then I think it got to the point, it was just not long after the last lockdown, was it? And I just thought, oh, do you know what? I think I enrolled on a free video call of yours.
Yeah.
You did like a PowerPoint slide. And everything that you said, I was like, yeah, 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 like that you had, or other people have had, and I resonated with so much that I was like, well, what have I got to lose?
Yeah.
Like, if it doesn't work, well, then we'll try and find something else. But if it does, I was like, that could be my answer, really.
And
uh,
was you confident that it might work for you, or did you just have no idea at that point?
I was confident it would work, but still kind of, no idea. It's something totally new, not something I'd done. For me, I've always been, I never really thought I ate that badly. I've always eaten a variety of foods.
Yeah.
But I guess sometimes when you get lazy as well, though, I do go for the bad things.
Mhm.
But so I was confident it would work. It was just interesting, like what.
Yeah.
Um,
And then what about investing in yourself? So, as a single mum, having the money to pay for a course that
yeah.
you didn't have any guarantee it was going to work. How did you feel about that?
Uh, Financial worry is there's always a financial worry for me. And it has been tough at times, but it's, for me, I guess I've put my son first for so long,
Yeah.
that in my head it's that so I need to start putting myself first and my health first.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I won't be around for him. So it was very much well, it's just something I've got to do.
Yeah.
Like, and so you find the money, you just have to cut it in other areas. So
Yeah. And
yeah.
And watching your, sorry, you finished
No,
there.
Karen, no,
I
carry
was
on.
going to say, watching your progress has been amazing because you've really embraced everything, haven't you? You're like there, you're doing it, you're trying it. If it's not working, you're moving on to the next thing. So how have you been able to do that? Because a lot of people say, like, I haven't got the time and I've got a family, and they might have a partner at home as well. So how have you managed to like juggle all these balls and try all these new things at the same time?
Well, I think a big thing is probably I'm paying for it. So if I don't utilize that the most, then I'm just throwing money away.
It's a good
Um,
motivator for you.
absolutely. Like, otherwise, what was the point?
Yeah.
Like, but equally, I guess very much at the forefront, like I just had to be selfish for a little bit of time. So I like trying new things. For me, it's then keeping those new things up once they are working. So it's new things keep me interested. I do like learning. I like being like productive with it more, but it's for me, definitely the one thing is then being able to keep up for it. So learning something new isn't hard for me. Like when you're being like proactive with it, I like it. I enjoy it. I like the ins and outs, and like different nutritions. They interest me. So in that sense, I think with the money and it being something new, I find it that I'm interested in.
Yes. But you have been able to keep up with it because there's weekly calls, but you haven't made the last few because work's been so manic because of this impending lockdown.
Yeah.
But we just had a quick chat before we started press record, and you were like, I'm feeling really good. So you have kept up with things. So how have you done that this time? What's been different this time to keep up with stuff?
I think obviously when you start to feel better, you start to feel happier, you start to feel more energized. Although you're always going to have your little slip ups or your little treats, you can notice the difference. So you notice if you drink a bottle of wine in the evening, how rubbish you feel the next day. But when you don't have that bottle of wine, or when you have that juice or something else instead, how much more alive you feel the next day, and how much more
alive.
So you really can notice the difference. So having had those changes for several weeks, whatever, having the odd down day, you're like, well, it's okay, because I know that if I do this, then I know, give it till tomorrow or a couple of days, I'm going to feel so much better. Whereas if you carry on with those bad things, you're just going to carry on feeling bad.
So you can feel the transformation, the difference between the two. You don't want to go back there. So you're going to carry on with mostly not being perfect, but being consistent with your healthy habits.
Absolutely. That's it. Yeah.
And the first few weeks of the course, I remember you coming to the course and you were really still struggling with panic attacks, and you was kind of telling me about that at work. But you've said for the last few weeks you haven't had any at all, and you're feeling your work's been busier than ever, and you're feeling a lot more in control. And you shared with me what you feel was your turning point on the course. So what was that?
The B vitamins. Yeah, I really think the B vitamins have helped. So I'm taking the B complex and the B5, which I think is good for stress anyway, isn't it? So
absolutely,
I think those two combined have just given me so much more energy and mentally helped me. But that definitely the turning point for me. The breathing, when those first few weeks when you gave me the breathing, that was a massive thing for me as well. But the B vitamins, 100%, like I think those are the biggest thing that have made a turning point for me.
So how's your stress and anxiety now compared to 3 months ago?
Like I kind of the difference is huge. I just feel so much calmer and happier. Like the anxiety, like I say, I haven't had any for the last 3 weeks from when I think we last spoke. 3 weeks ago or so. But it's just like a massive turning point. it's nearly well, I'm going to say it's nearly it is nearly non-existent at the moment, like, whereas I was having it daily, like, the stresses and the anxiety and the panic attacks are happening every day, almost, several times a day, not just one off. So whereas I can get through, well, I've got through 3 weeks now without a panic attack, and so just
Oh,
goes to show for itself,
even
really.
watching your
Like,
face, it's lighting up. What impact has that had? So on, like, say, looking after your little boy at work, like, what does it mean to you now to be kind of free of stress and anxiety attacks at the moment, in the main? What's the
so
difference to your life?
I can just kind of enjoy the daily things a little bit more. Like, I don't feel like I'm rushing so much, don't feel like everything's a chore. I can sit down and have a laugh with my son, or even when he's been a little toe rag, like, I can deal with it better. I'm not instantly going to the absolutely biting his head off stage. We build to that now.
Yeah. It takes a bit more.
Yeah.
When we first spoke 12 weeks ago, you said you felt like you'd lost the joy of life. So do you feel like that's returning for you?
Absolutely. Yeah. Didn't want to do anything, didn't find anything kind of joyful. Even if I did laugh at something, it was all like you're just laughing on the outside. You're not actually going to laugh on the inside. So no, that's 100% returned, which is lovely. So, going for walks, having even just a snuggle on the sofa, enjoying that sitting down time rather than feeling like I've got to get up and go do something, or I don't really want to be here. I don't want to, not being able to relax properly. So, no, it's lovely.
Great. I've got a couple more things that I want to ask you, and one of them that just popped to my mind, just looking at what we first spoke about, was you had pain in the top and middle of your back. You had pain under the left side of your ribs a lot as well. So you said that's changed, didn't you?
Yeah, 100%. So I think the magnesium definitely helped with that. But for me, I went and got a massage.
Yeah, I remember.
From a physiotherapist, which really loosened everything up. She got out a lot of the tightness and tension. I think I was so tight that probably the magnesium and that wasn't enough to sort it all out initially, but that really loosened me up. And then pairing that, I changed from the magnesium capsules to the Mag 365. So I think that's helped better with the absorption there. And I've also got a foam roller, so especially after a long day, if I'm feeling slightly achy, have a go on that just to loosen everything up, open everything up. I think that's probably had a big thing to do with my anxiety as well, because my posture was so poor. So I still need to work on that. It's just enabled me to stand up that bit better, open up my chest, not squashing everything, which is what I was doing before. So, the aching, if I do ache, it's not for long, whereas I was waking up in the morning and aching all day. And depending on how bad I felt, would be the severity of it all. So that has improved tenfold so far.
Right. And my experience with that and with my clients is that if you're not doing the nutrition, you're not looking after yourself, you haven't got the self-care, that you go for the massage and then you need another one, and then you need another one, and you need it like every other week or every month to even keep on top of it, and you're still in that pain. So it will work for a few days, but if you pair the nutrition with it, because I go for a massage occasionally and I have little adjustments with the chiropractor sometimes, and that then I'm able to maintain it. The diet helps you to maintain it a lot more and get a lot more value out of that as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, I think, when did I have it? I think I had the massage on the 16th of, was it October?
It must have been about a month ago, and you said that she said you was going to need to go back quite quickly, and you haven't yet.
Yeah, she said to go back probably around during half term week. That's it. She was away then, so we didn't do that. So I'd be due it around about now. But see, I can't have it now. but she said, you'll know if you need it sooner, you'll know.
Yeah.
If you want to take it a little bit longer, she was like, that's fine. She was like, you'll know when you need it again.
Mm.
And I'm okay at the moment. Like,
Mm.
so I mean, hopefully, though, I'll probably try and book it in for as soon as this
Yeah.
lockdown ends.
Keep doing the
But
foam roller in
the
the
foam
meantime,
rollering.
and the hydration. So
Definitely.
what's happened with your reflux? Because you were suffering so badly with that before.
Yeah, so I very rarely get reflux now. So there's still improvement to be had because I do still occasionally get it, but it is more when I am probably very indulgent
Yeah.
on things that I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
So what I can eat certain things that I couldn't eat before now, and not have too much and not have an effect on it, as long as I don't
Yeah.
go mad. So
Yeah.
but the good thing about it is that I can recognize what causes it now and what doesn't. So definitely the enjoyment for food is coming back, because that took it all out of it, wondering whether it was going to cause, you know, a bout of reflux or not.
Yeah, you get fearful of food, don't you?
I absolutely, yeah. And do you know what? A lot of when I was very panicky and full of anxiety, I'd a lot of the time get it when I was eating as well.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
then, at which point I really then couldn't eat because my breathing just went out the window. So I think that was a big factor of it too.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be starting to enjoy foods again. Like,
yeah. So knowledge is power kind of for you, and you know now, if you know kind of what might trigger it, what might not. You've got that clarity around that.
yeah, which really does help. So
Right. So we haven't heard how your energy has improved. Has your energy improved in the last 12 weeks?
yeah, hugely. I think my energy, like, I didn't want to get out of bed. I just wanted to sleep all the time. And now, yeah, to be honest, if I don't get out of bed in the morning, and now, you know, well, I feel rubbish. And it's one of those things that you almost have no energy if you just don't get up and going. So I definitely find the key, get up in the morning. And once you're up and you're dressed, get out that door. You know, there's kind of no stopping then. My energy levels, I mean, come the evening, I am knackered. I'm in bed at 9 o'clock at the moment.
You're just very full on, isn't it? You're like on your feet, you're serving people. It's kind of like a million miles an hour. Plus you're looking after your young son. So I think it's, you know, if you look at that, it's only natural that you are going to be sort of tired towards the evening.
Yeah.
But you do want the energy to be able to get through the day, obviously.
Yeah, most definitely. But I don't have I'm not getting that afternoon slump as much anymore, although there might be some days that I do get it. It depends on probably how my sleep was the day before, or, you know, but I don't get that too much. I can keep going and kind of all day and still feel awake once I get home at 4 o'clock, you know, enough to make dinner. So get Noah to bed. So energy, yeah, there's kind of a total turnaround in that as well.
Amazing.
You know, still got work, you know, with everything, but definitely so different. Just didn't want to do anything before, so having the energy. And obviously I think I said last time I had was having like bouts of anxiety and stuff. Even then I had energy, but I felt so anxious and panicky that I couldn't use it. So yeah, it just showed it's there.
It's there. Tell any women that are watching this where they might be feeling the same. Let's I'll mention a couple and you'll mention a few of some of the things that you put in place, because you have been incredible. But you've got fermented foods in place. So I've got my kombucha here, and you're telling me that you have yours, and your sauerkraut, and you're making freshly pressed juices at home as well, aren't you? What kind of other new stuff are you doing that you wasn't doing before?
Well, obviously a lot of the vitamins, walking, going out. Although I did walk occasionally, it was more of a let's just get out the house sort of job. Whereas, you know, now going on nature walks with my son. We walk to school most days unless I've got work and I need to shoot off. What else? Like breathing, yoga, I do a bit of meditation.
Just a few things then.
I love, like, yeah. Just having being a bit more selfish about myself. So
because you've said, I think that's the third time that you said selfish. Is it selfish to look after yourself?
Well, no, it's not. I think kind of as mums, though, I think we always think, oh, we've got to put the children first, don't we? And I think sometimes, although, yeah, you might be saying selfish, I don't think there's anything wrong with being selfish about yourself sometimes.
Yeah, so you think it's a good thing that you need to do.
Yeah. So, you know, look after yourself and do what you want to do sometimes. You know, having that bath, like, in an evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's definitely a big point for me, because I never did that before. So anything like that, like just having that time to myself. It's nice. I don't do it every evening, but you know, I do it. So yeah. And do you know what I like? Another thing I have done, I've put restrictions on my phone.
Tell us about that.
Especially during lockdown, and when I'm very anxious, I would spend a lot of time just scrolling through social media or online. Nothing in particular, just something mindless to do.
Yeah, I remember saying.
But I would do it while sitting next to my son, you know, doing absolutely anything. So I started putting restrictions on that to try and help me sleep better as well.
Yeah.
Although I never really had trouble sleeping, it's just to make that quality of sleep that bit better.
Yeah, I love that.
And to shut my mind down. So if I put limits, so I put limits on, so I can't go on it before 7 a.m. and I put limits, it basically shuts everything down at 10 p.m. because I use my phone for an alarm as well. So it'll still be by my bed, but just to try and help cut that screen time down for me.
And that really helps with anxiety as well.
Yeah, so I've done that. That's the last few weeks.
And so do you feel like doing the course, obviously you learned a lot of knowledge along the way. Did it help you to have like your questions answered, to have support, to have accountability? Did that kind of help you stick to it?
Yeah, what is really nice about the Facebook group, so although you are there, you hold all knowledge or most knowledge, you know, on everything. So you were always there to be able to just message, but to all the other members that are in the group to know that they're going through something similar, or that they've tried things, it might not have worked for them, and if it wasn't working for them, and the same might not be working for you, what else did they do? Or you know, good products, and seeing what other people are making, other recipes, like, so it's lovely. They're like a friendship support group there as well.
Lovely.
So, and knowing you're not alone.
Yeah.
There are so many other people out there who are going through the same things, like, you know, might not be exactly the same, but each of you are struggling your own way, and you're going through this course together. So, you know, just bouncing ideas off each other and a bit of support, really. Especially as obviously some of your friends, you know, outside you know, close friends, they might not be going through this. They might not have the same issues. They're not doing the course, so they can't really relate as much to everything that you're doing at the time, whereas everyone in this Facebook group can. So it's nice. It's nice to have that online support where you can post really at any time of the day. If you are struggling to sleep at night, you pop it on there. Or so
that's great. Thank you for sharing that. And so for any women that are, say, in a similar position to you, maybe they're struggling with panic attacks, anxiety, energy, what would you tell them to try? Like, what mindset do you need, or what's the first steps that they could take to start to, you know, have the kind of transformation that you've had?
So positive thinking, start trying to look at that positive thinking. Most definitely something I've really struggled with. So you know, you brought up you're gratefuls.
gratitude journal.
Gratitude journal.
I call it Grateful to my children. Yeah.
I just always remember Gratefuls. That's what I know it as. But yeah. So, you know, listing what things you're grateful for on that day. Like you say, it does make you think of the small things that are positives within your life. And then it filters on through. So one of those, definitely. There was I think a post that I posted in the group at one point, which was like, I get to go to work. So rather than looking at work as being a chore and a drag, I have to go to work because I've got to earn money. It's like, no, I get to go to work because not everybody's that lucky. So it's always flipping it around and trying to look at the positive side rather than delving into the negative on it. So
that's been a great journey for you. I've really seen your mindset shift in these 12 weeks.
Yeah, I think affirmations are probably still things I've got to work on, like thinking of them by myself, but you've given me a few which are great, which do help. It helps you, makes you think that even when you are suffering, this is just a stepping stone and you will kind of come out of it. So
affirmations, gratefuls, anything else?
I love meditation. So although I don't always listen to meditation where someone's talking, every night without fail, I have a meditation app called Insight Timer, which you can use free. And I put music on, like for bedtime, to help you go to sleep, and I go to sleep with it every single night without fail. So I love that. It helps switch off your mind. So
and I think you said B vitamins as well, and I think from watching your journey, it's like being open-minded enough to try new things and new knowledge and trusting that something else might work for you.
Absolutely. I'm not definitely I think you've got to be open-minded into trying something new. Otherwise, well, you're never going to find it, are you, really?
You stay stuck if you keep doing the same thing, don't you?
That's it. Yeah. So no, definitely being open-minded about it all. Try new things. If it doesn't work, move on to the next.
Rather than seeing it as failure, it's just getting you to the success. That's been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all of that with us. It's been brilliant to watch your journey.
Thank you.
Onwards and upwards for you, isn't it?
Indeed, that's it. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.